Keep the control on your stomach.
A split-second mistake caught on camera when a reserve deputy fires his gun instead of his taser as an undercover sting takes a deadly turn. That breaking news is first here at 6 o'clock as the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office releases video of the undercover sting operation last week that ended with a reserve deputy shooting and killing suspect Eric Harris.
Now, they also released the findings of that investigation this afternoon after turning everything over to the district attorney's office first. News on 6 Crime reporter Lori Fulbright is back from the media briefing that they just held this afternoon. Lori?
Well, Scott and Terry, the sheriff's office says Eric Harris did not have a gun on him at the time he was shot, but they say deputies did not know that until they had him on the ground. They hired a nationally recognized expert in use of force who says this is a classic case of what they call slips and capture, where an officer believes he's doing one thing but in fact does something opposite. Now, the first video shows Harris get into the undercover deputy's car and hand the officer a gun. They say undercovers had bought meth off of Harris twice in the previous 5 days. Then Harris bails out and runs once other deputies move in to make the arrest, as you can see there. They say Reserve Deputy Bob Bates' assignment that day was to work the outer perimeter, that he was not on the arrest team, but that the suspect ran in Bates' direction. They say Bates got out of his vehicle with a pepper ball long gun in one hand and his actual gun in the other. Then they say he decided to exchange his pepper ball gun for a taser to help get Harris under control. But they say he mistakenly grabbed and fired his gun. 1 second after the shot is heard, you can hear Bates say, "I shot him, I'm sorry." Then you can hear Harris yelling, "I'm shot, he shot me." Detectives and deputies say it turns out Harris did not have a gun, but they say they didn't know that at the time.
The 1+ rule in law enforcement simply means anytime a law enforcement officer encounters a gun, you should continue your search and make certain that that person is not armed with a second weapon. We tell officers if you find one gun, constantly search for the other one. And Deputy Bates had that training on the 1+ rule.
Now, Tulsa Police Sergeant Jim Clark is a nationally known expert in the use of force. He was hired by the sheriff's office as a private consultant to investigate this shooting. He says there have been other cases across the country where an officer grabs his gun instead of a taser during fast-moving, high-stress situations. He says he does not believe this had anything to do with Bates' age. He is 73. There were a lot of questions this afternoon about the .38 that Bates was carrying and whether it was the gun issued to him by the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office and if he was qualified to use it.
When you are in the lawful performance of your duty and that is the weapon that you are carrying, it is considered your service weapon, regardless if it's personally owned or issued by the agency, as long as you have shown proficiency of that firearm.
Now, Bates' attorney sent us this picture of the Bates' vest that shows he carries his taser on his chest. The sheriff's office also laid out and showed us a pepper ball gun, a taser, and a gun similar to, they say, to what Bates was carrying that day. They say the taser and the gun both have laser sights and are about the same weight. It is now up to the district attorney to decide what, if any, charges should be filed against Deputy Bates. Lori Fulbright, News on 6.